Thank you very much. How wonderful to be here. I would really like to, at the outset, thank you so much for the invitation. Distinguished participants, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Carnegie for hosting this Global Technology Summit and bringing all key stakeholders together to discuss the changing nature of technology and, of course, geopolitics. This is certainly one of the, if I could put it this way, era-defining issues for all of us. Now, before turning to the specific topic of military applications of AI, let me just very briefly touch on developments in science and technology and emphasize some key principles, key for us, for the United Nations, against the background of course, geopolitics and international order. Now, I think we all agree that we are at a crossroads with technological developments. And that is, of course, from digital technologies to biotechnologies to quantum technologies to, of course, artificial intelligence. And we always emphasize at the outset, technology positively influences every part of our daily lives. It also plays a key role in sustainable development, in innovation, and progress for humankind at large. So let's not forget that before we go to the risks and, if you will, dark side of the technology. This outlook, however, needs to be viewed against the backdrop of existing and potential risks. There are ongoing and, I would say, legitimate concerns that such developments are outpacing diplomatic communities' capacity to respond in multilateral fora. I live in multilateral world, and I feel that every day. So one thing that I emphasize is that it is incumbent on states to ensure compliance with international law, including with international humanitarian law and international human rights law, regardless of advances in artificial intelligence. We should all remember that law does not change even when the means and methods of warfare do. Let's not forget that, let's remember that. Now, let me turn to the topic of this session, military applications of artificial intelligence. The developments of artificial intelligence have dominated the headlines in the last year, especially with the advent of generative AI tools such as ChatGPT. Now, everyone is talking about it. These developments have also made clear to member states and also to the United Nations that they bring with them risks to international peace and security. And some states are increasingly studying and developing artificial intelligence applications in the military domain. AI applications in military domain are mainly developed for two specific reasons. Number one, the integration into military tasks that relate to the use of force, such as for target selection and attack. And number two, their integration into military tasks beyond application relating to the use of force, such as for logistics, command and control, early warning, training, intelligence, etc., etc. Regarding the integration of AI into military tasks that relate to the use of force, the main example at hand, very easy to understand it, are autonomous weapon systems. Some states are developing systems that integrate AI into functions of autonomy to increase efficiency of a weapon system. The demand for efficiency, however, must never come at the expense of human control and oversight over the use of force. Delegating decisions over life and death to machines is the ongoing work on lethal autonomous weapon systems, or laws for short, within the Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons, or CCW. This framework has been a valuable platform for exploring these matters and has enabled the international community to make important progress on developing converging views on key issues, including on the centrality of the human element. And I must say that India actually played a critical role in coming up with the guiding principles in this process. Now, however, there are also other worrisome prospects, including the potential integration of AI into nuclear weapon systems. AI applications can open new vulnerabilities in nuclear command and control and communications, such as through AI-enabled cyber attacks, for example, and can compress decision-making time, and that could be a quite dangerous thing. I would also like to stress that incorporation of AI to armed uncrewed aerial vehicles, or UAVs, bears new risks to international peace and security. Now, while the UAVs that operate in the battlefield today are remotely controlled by humans, and that humans provide the decisions on engagement with a target, it is not certain for how long states will continue to adhere to this arrangement. Now, regarding the integration of AI into military tasks that go beyond the use of force, there are several examples to cite. And these, of course, include tasks that involve command and control, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, information security, logistics, trainings, just to name a few. When integrated into non-weapons related functions, AI-enabled systems can be used, for instance, as decision support tools, providing a menu of options to the commanders regarding what type of weapons to use or what type of targets to choose from. Now, while on paper, it is easy to separate tasks that relate to use of force from non-weapons related tasks, in reality, in the battlefield, these tasks feed into each other. For instance, non-weapons related functions of a weapon system could help identify highly valuable targets through network mapping, and that information can later be used for targeting and attack purposes. So, it is therefore important to examine these tasks as a continuum of decision-making, if you will, rather than separate use cases. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is no longer a sci-fi story that AI can be used in conflicts and wars. In fact, AI applications can already harm civilians in armed conflict. So the main question is how to protect civilians from the harm. I believe that this can be achieved through responsible and ethical design, development, deployment, and use of AI in the military domain, while also continuing efforts around prohibitions and regulations of lethal autonomous weapon systems. It is therefore important that these two areas, broader military applications of AI and laws, be mutually reinforcing. So this discussion like this one here will help this, in this regard, creating needed momentum, if you will, for the international community to move forward and develop necessary frameworks to mitigate AI risks, both normative and, if need be, regulatory as well. I would like to also recall that the concept of responsibility is a shared one. What do I mean by that? While states are definitely responsible for the use of military applications, we cannot disregard the role of other stakeholders. It is indeed largely the private sector who designs and develops dual-use technology, with implications to international peace and security. Civil society provides the necessary factual analysis on the risks of AI in the military domain. Academia and other legal entities provide the necessary legal analysis in relation to the weapons, means, and methods of warfare. Therefore, the effective governance of artificial intelligence must be realized through what we call a multi-stakeholder dialogue. Distinguished participants, events such as this one bring us closer to where we wish to be in the coming years. They also remind us of the many steps we must take along the way to get there. Reaching consensus on the governance of AI, I would say, would not be easy. In fact, it will be quite difficult. But I emphasize it is also necessary. Let us therefore exert dedicated and collective efforts to mitigate associated risks and build a better future for humanity. And I think it is a responsibility for all of us. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm very much looking forward to the exchanges during the panel session that follow. Thank you.